And we are not laughing today.
We already got all the laughing out because we've already been chatting for
Because
about a
I'm
half an
so
hour or so.
happy. I'm so happy. You just made my day, and you
Oh,
without
so
even
happy. Hi,
realizing.
guys. Let's say hello real quick. Welcome to the Mind Shift with the Dynamic Duo with your hosts, me, Sabina, and of course, the amazing Sonia. And
Hi.
we talked about, I just took a class on Psyche. And when I was first introduced to it through a friend of mine, she did it with me, and I was like, interesting. Yeah, whatever. You know, and I didn't pay attention, to be honest. I really didn't. And then a couple of weeks or a month later or whatever, we talked again. And my friend, she goes like, hey, so there's this modality. And I said, oh, yeah, you did this with me last time. She goes, you want to do it again? I'm like, sure, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. I mean, it didn't hurt, right? So we did it again. But this time I actually paid attention, and it struck me that's like, wait a minute. So the universe is telling me, showing me this again. Maybe this was my missing piece. Maybe I need to explore this more. So I did some research into it, and I was like, oh my gosh, holy cow. So I took the class. I mean, that was last Saturday, actually.
We
um,
talk about it.
I know, it's like boom,
Boom.
and I also know it's like the universe and or God or my higher power, whatever you want to call it, the powers that are. Um, and we have a deal. It's like whenever there's something that I'm supposed to be doing, like really doing, it's like it's happening right then and there, right now, like really quick. So Saturday, I made the decision. It's like, okay, I'm gonna check in. So I went to the Psyche website and I looked for courses. And the earliest one was an online course, the level 1 online class, and it started Monday. And it was a 3-day thing, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays. And time went by so fast. And I mean, I've taken classes before, and sometimes you just sit there going like, oh my God, will it ever end? Right? This one, I mean, it's like, boom. It's like, what do you mean it's Wednesday? The time is done. What? You know? And then the book came during that time too. And I had to laugh because Sonia got hers yesterday and she was complaining about the sticker that's
No,
on there.
I received today.
Oh, you got yours today. Oh, even
This
better.
morning.
And they had a sticker on the front. Mine had a sticker on the front too. See?
And
But this book
my
right
OCD,
here,
my
Psyche,
my
the
OCD.
missing piece in your life. And I was like, interesting title, you know. And I've heard about muscle testing before, and I've went on YouTube and tried to do it because I really don't have somebody that I can practice with like during the day, So I was like, I wanted to muscle test on myself. How can I do this? Well, none of the stuff really worked for me. It was a hit and miss. And then reading the book, I was like, oh wow, now I know what went wrong. So anyway, so this is exciting. This is so exciting. I love this. So Sonia, she goes like, what are you talking about? So she got the book, clearly, right? And
I'm always curious to learn more, right?
well, yeah, because I mean, learning it helps us grow, and if we're not growing, we're dying. I just did a Beanie Bits on that actually this week. But anyway, and I'm excited that you got the book and you're excited and you're like, tell me more. Tell me more. Explain this to me. Explain this to me, right?
I still didn't start reading the book, but of course I went a little, you know how I am when I buy a book, right? The first thing that I go is the table of contents and look through.
Because you're left brain, yes.
And after like I decide to open the book in a regular page. And I was like, tell me more. And so you start explaining me, and we decided to do a little experience, and it was so funny.
Yes, we did. And
because my hands are still ice cold.
Oh, see, because your whole thing is balancing out right now, and it's going to where it needs to go. And here's what I love, and I share that with you. It's like, I know we're told to write down our affirmations and repeat our affirmations and record our affirmations and listen to it over and over and over.
I stopped listening. Listen was not my thing.
Well, it didn't resonate. It never, I mean, I did it, but it never really resonated with me. I mean, I had some wins doing this. I was like, oh, okay, but it took a long time. And a lot of times, because the changes were so subtle, and it's like, oh, it's not working. Sound familiar, guys? Right? So, and I'm also one of the things that I coach on is clearing limiting beliefs. And I took I mean, I'm actually certified in it through Joe Vitale, right? And I love the different ways to do it. But
Yeah.
something inside of me always said there is more. You're missing something. There is more. Well,
You found it.
I found the more.
She not
And I mean,
only
I know
found,
there's still more out there, but for right now, this is more, a lot more. And this clears limiting beliefs like there's no
well,
tomorrow.
well, the experience that I just had it without
Yeah,
even
share with
read
us. This is so cool.
that,
I'm so
that
excited.
not even read the book because I still didn't. I arrived this morning, and between meetings that I was having, I didn't have the time to go through the book, of course. But I was like, she sold the course on me. Right now, after this meeting, what Sonia is going to do is going to the website and do it, because for the people that doesn't know, I'm struggling with some health issues right now, and I'm trying to see if I can, whatever can do for my body to start healing and produce the cells that I need to have, and with the positive energy and with autosuggestion and writing and meditation and all that stuff, and doctors too, of course, because I believe, don't get me wrong, I do believe in medicine.
Well, I mean, we're not saying. I mean, none of this we're saying is like don't go see a doctor.
but
If you go see a doctor, see a doctor. I mean,
but I believe that it could have both areas fields can complement themselves, right? And so we did some stuff, and she said, say your goal. And apparently my goal is very strong. I believe on it. I believe it is done. It's here. Um, but when it came, she said something that you are struggling right now. Think about something that you are really struggling right now. So immediately went for my health problems, and when we are trying, I saw weak it was, even if I am doing the 555 manifestation every week, and I started that like 2 months ago, actually. I'm gonna be I'm not gonna lie. I decided to do it soon my blood work came in. I started doing immediately. And but apparently it was a very weak belief. A very weak belief, and it was so easy. It was, I am healthy than ever. It's such a small, like my kids say, a small goal. But apparently I was not believing on that. My subconscious was not accepting that I was healthier than ever.
your
And
subconscious is like, yeah, right.
right. So what are you, special to a left brain? What are you trying to do? You have the results in front of you. You have all the numbers in
Well,
front
I
of
mean,
you.
for the left brain part, you know, is we need to have explanations. Show me the proof. Show me the pudding.
Show me the
Don't
proof.
just tell me, but show me the proof.
So I have a proof that say, no, you have things some, like right now you are dealing with your thyroid, with your liver, and with anemia. And on the other side is me saying, no, you're totally wrong. I don't have nothing like that. And I have a paper. And on the other side, I don't have nothing besides me saying, no, you are healthier than ever. So of course, we need to try on that. And I realized that, well, I didn't realize. I kind of, inside of me, I knew that I was writing, but I didn't know if I was believing on it. And the proof was when I did the exercise, I didn't believe. And after a couple other exercise, we went back to the first exercise, and it was like pour energy.
Oh, I have chills. Oh my God.
It is. You feel your body kind of shaking. You feel
You
feel
feel the
yourself.
shift.
You
You
feel your
feel the
feeling.
shift.
You feel your body shaking. I don't even know if you noticed in the camera that my body was kind of shaking, but I felt the shaking.
Mhm.
And suddenly, my hands start getting very, very cold. My hands are very, very cold, and and it's not cold outside, and my house is not cold. And I decide to do the first exercise to see if I had the shift, and I did it. I did have the shift, and it blew my mind, like how I can be working on this without a suggestions for a month, and like I wanted to believe, so I always shutting out of the other part of my brain. They say, it's not true. Stop kidding with me. Just stop. You make me laugh. Tickle tickles. And suddenly, yeah, I did believe. And
Mhm.
now I know that if I do my auto suggestion, my 555,
You don't even
55,
have to do that anymore. Because
mm,
here's the thing, when and this is one thing I learned too, because the question came up, it's like, so my affirmation, so when I just balanced for that, and before it was weak, now it's strong, do I still write the affirmations? No. Because if you do that, you're sending a signal to your subconscious that you don't really believe it.
okay. Oh, so, oh my
And you're
God,
done.
great.
It's done.
55 times that I don't need to write.
No,
I'm
it's done. You
happy.
don't even have to do that anymore.
I'm happy.
I know, right? The time
My
it saves. It's like instead of writing all that, because writing. I mean, and I did the 555 method, right? But it took me like a half hour, an hour to write the 55 times.
Well,
Yeah.
you decide to go for long sentence. I
Well,
go.
okay, yeah, there's that. Well, but here's the thing: the time it takes me to write the 55, I can balance on I don't know how many different goals that I want to balance on.
I just want to put gloves.
Do this.
It doesn't. It doesn't. I even put it under my legs to see if it would warm up. They don't. They don't. But my pen is very happy too because she is gonna write be out of ink soon, and my journal is gonna be thank me because uh is go half already. Um, and I just start on the 13th this journal and is already halfway.
Hmm.
So everything and my hands can thank me too that I don't need to write that
But
anymore.
and here's the thing: this is just one modality I can do, and it's like for you guys watching, you know, believe it, don't believe it, but don't knock it until you've tried it.
Oh my God,
That's the best thing I can say.
I was skeptical, to be honest. Like, well, I should not be skeptical because I studied this kind of stuff, right? And we teach this kind of stuff. And I tried the muscle with Miguel. I actually have a video that he didn't want to say. You remember that video that
Oh
he
yeah,
doesn't
that
want
was
to
so
say that
cute. Oh
he's
my
not
gosh.
smart and stuff like that. So I know that it works, but I never thought that it would work on this dimension. It really, it really does, and I cannot stop smiling.
I'm so happy. Well, and the thing is, it's like I've heard about muscle testing way before then. That's right. And I even looked up. I mean, I looked up YouTube videos and everything, and it was a hit and miss. It was like, oh, it's not working for me, and that was a belief that I created. It's not working for me. So when this came about, and on the online class, on the level 1 online class, they actually teach you how to muscle test on yourself the right way. And I was like, I was so blown away because the old me, still was like, yeah, right. I'll prove you're wrong.
That was kind of me, like, put your left, and of course my left brain. This is amazing. My left brain is amazing. I need to love it because she was like, put your
Love
left
both your
leg.
sides.
But I love both of my sides, but my left one, I don't know why it's always like surprising me. Put your left leg on your over your right leg, do this, do that. And I'm like, but what that means? And everything on my left side was stronger than my right side. She remember? And I was like, what that means? And she said, don't worry with what that means. Just do it what I say. And I'm like, no, no, but what that this means? My left side is stronger than my right side.
But you know a fun fact? I don't know if you know that. Do you know that the left side of your brain controls the right side of your body and vice versa?
I know.
So your left leg over your right leg is actually your right brain commanding.
Taking over. And that's why I was like getting like, oh my God, I'm switching. I'm gonna be a right side. Right.
Well, and the nice thing, what I love with Psyche, it's actually helping you to put it all in balance. And that's what it is. That's why we're balancing. I mean, because it's like whatever is not the way we want it or the way we would like it to be, it's because it's out of balance.
Yeah.
You know, and what Psyche does, it balances the superconscious, your higher power, God, infinite intelligence, whatever you call it, the superconscious, with your subconscious and your conscious mind. And it is just
for the ones and please, yes, it's psh, and please, and please, and this is the left brain talking, but it's really a left brain talking. For everyone that is skeptical that our mind can heal your body, as a left brain, I can tell you that is scientific proof that it can.
Mhm.
We have scientific proofs that people that had cancer, that were afraid, that believe with all the cells of their body that they would fight over this and they would win, they did. And it's proved that the ones they were afraid, tried to protect themselves over everything, and um, and didn't believe for more than you say it's going to be okay, they usually are the ones that lost the battle. So it's scientific proof that
Well, I mean, and they do it when they do test medication. They have one study group that gets
placebo.
a sugar pill that gets and it's called the placebo effect. They don't know that they got a sugar pill, or a useless whatever, but they believe that they got something, and they show the same results as the ones that actually got the medication.
So
that tells you your mind is so powerful.
It is powerful because this is and talking about, like, I have two experience. My dad had a surgery on his emergency surgery on his eye, right? And the doctors always said that would be okay. But a coworker, my dad's coworker, said to him, "No, it doesn't. You're gonna be blind." A couple months later, it was exactly what happened because my dad put in his mind, because while the eye is healing, he could not see it anything because the the retina was not attached yet, so you could not see it anything. So, but because of that factor, plus the other one saying to him, "No, you're gonna get blind."
And
It
it was
did.
a coworker that said that? What
Mhm.
qualification does that person have?
No, no, exactly. But in my mind, my dad's mind is like the fact of that he could not see it, and someone from the outside tell him, "You lost the vision. What do you want to do now?" He lost his vision. A couple months later, we find out that the optic nerve was damaged because all the stress and all that stuff make the pressure on the eye go really, really down and
Mm.
damage the nerve. So my dad doesn't see from his right eye because his belief. Because what put it in their mind, even if the doctors say no, this is going to be a happy. Actually, the doctors were so funny because they don't call the eyes just the eye. It's like, no, this is going to be a happy eye. Believe me, this is going to be a happy eye. But on his mind, because he still could not see it, because he still was like doing the recover, and plus that person saying that to him, it was like.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, one day I was in the supermarket and was like New Year's Eve. I'm never gonna forget. My kids wanted to have their own champagne to celebrate with us. And so I said, "No worry, mommy gonna buy the sparkling cider for you guys." So I went to the supermarket. They don't have plastic bags anymore, and I totally forgot because usually I order everything to come to the house. And when I came like this, holding a lot of other things, right? And the old lady passed through me and said, "No, no, no, ma'am, you go ahead because you have so much in your hands that that's gonna fall if you stop." And I remember just look to her and say, "Thank you, but please don't say that. The words have power." And soon as I get out of the supermarket, what happened?
Um,
Fire trucks. It was like, boom! I go to the car and I start like, and people say don't believe that the words has power. Look at me.
yeah, and that's so true. It's like, with my walking issues that I'm currently dealing with. I remember there were a bunch of times where I went down. I mean, I went down hard. And looking back, it's like right before, it's like I was either thinking, oh, I haven't fallen in a long time, boosh down, you know? And it's like, oh, I should pay attention or I fall, boosh down.
Yeah, did.
It's no joke,
I love,
guys.
I love my mom. Love it. Well, you need to love my mom. You kind of all hate her or love her. It doesn't. You don't have to mean the between with my mom. But when I go in the car with her and we go do some like long distance drive, and she's like, "Oh, the traffic. That line is going better, but if you go to that line, it's gonna stop because you're gonna go." I'm like always like, "Can you stop? Can you just stop?" Because what happened? As soon as I change, even the pen fall.
But it's the thing. So here's a little experiment you guys can do. If you don't believe us, just play with it, right?
Yes, just
For
play.
instance, when you're driving, and I love using this. So when we're driving, say my husband and I are driving, and when he drives, he's focused on the red lights. It's like, oh man, these lights really suck. They're red. So whenever we're together, we hit the red lights a lot, you know. And a lot of times, because I really don't want that to happen and listen to it, I'm like, oh man, I just love the green lights, and then we have green lights. Just play with that, guys. If you think it's like, oh man, I'm late, I'm probably gonna hit every single red light, guess what? You will hit every single red light.
Oh, actually, I use that as my sign from universe. It's funny that you talk about the red lights because when I want to answer for something and I want the answer right now and I'm in the car, it's like, if this is what is supposed to happen and if this is what is supposed for me to be doing, please show me the sign, and I want the sign that I'm gonna get the next light red.
See, I would think it's like, okay, if this is what you want me to do, give me the green light.
Oh,
If
I
you
do.
don't
I
want
ask
me to
the
do
red.
this, give me the red light. That's me.
I ask the red because usually I get all the green lights. I don't stop
Ah,
too much on the red lights. So
nice.
um and so I need to ask something that usually doesn't happen to me. That is
Oh, there
like
you go. The other thing
having
you
the,
can do is like do it with parking spaces.
I
It's like
didn't.
it's so funny. People are always like, and it's like whenever I go somewhere with somebody, and it's so busy, and I end up getting a parking space right in front. They're like,
I
"Oh my
did.
god, how lucky!" I'm like, "No, I called a." I always laugh. I joke. I said I called ahead.
I'm serious. It's like, but let it go. You ask, but
Right. I
let
mean,
it
that's
go.
like I know
Let it
I'll
go. You
get the
don't think
perfect
about
parking
it.
space for me. Right.
Don't think
I
about
know.
it because I remember when I was challenged to see a butterfly. Do you remember a blue butterfly? And I was I was with you in Zoom or in this meeting or something.
Yeah,
And
I don't know if it was this one. I think we just did a regular chat, and I showed you. I turned the camera around, and I
you,
showed you the picture that I have behind my screen.
yes,
And
and I was like,
you got all
you,
excited. Just wait a minute, go back. And I had no idea what you were talking about. You go back. I mean, and you were like so intense. Go back. I'm like, go back. So I turn it around. She goes, no, 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 no. You have a blue butterfly. I'm like, and then here's me. No, I don't. She goes, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do on your screen. And I'm like, and I'm looking at my screen. I'm like, no. But I do have one stuck in the corner. There's a blue butterfly stuck on the corner.
but
And
it
I
passed
forgot it
so
was there.
fast. It passed so fast. You remember? And I'm like, go back, go back. You have a blue butterfly. And and she was like, what are you talking about? I have a yellow butterfly, orange butterfly, but I don't have any blue.
Because I have the orange one sitting on my computer, and I can see that because it's against the black. But the blue one kind of like blends in because right behind it I have a picture of it's not Gaia. It's Quinn Young, right? And it's kind of like bluish purple, so it kind of blends in. And I mean, I really had no idea. It's like, go back, go back. I'm like, go back. Where? You want from me?
And after she was like very serious looking at me, and I was like, go back, you have a blue butterfly. And she was trying to find out the blue butterfly. And I'm like, I didn't imagine. I swear to God that I saw a blue butterfly.
That was
And she
fun
was,
though.
and she was so out of like, but and so I explained like, oh my God, I was challenged by a client that if the Napoleon principles work, because this actually was fun. I had a client that didn't believe in manifestation. So I give him a challenge that through the day, he needs to see the numbers 222. And he say, oh, how that is going to be possible. And I'm like, just believe. And he say, okay, so I'm going to give it to you. I want you to see the number 000. And I'm like, okay. And suddenly I was on the bus and I put it my head up and the bus number is 0002. And I was still on the phone with him and I say, done. And they say, no way. And I'm like, done. And I take a picture and I send it to him and I say, here it is. And he say, oh, you knew that the bus number was 000. And I'm like, but I didn't choose the number. You choose the number. And he was like, that doesn't count. And I'm like, okay, so if it doesn't count, no problem. Let me think about it and consider it done. And suddenly I'm sitting and in front of me is like a poster that say federal law, if you do something wrong in this bus, the fine will be, and guess what will be? $1,000. How many zeros are there? 3 zeros. And I'm like, done. And he say, it's impossible.
But it's not.
On the end of the day, he sent me a picture with the number 222 and a license plate. He was driving and another car passed through him and he had the number 222. And I'm like, see, it is possible. And okay. So this went by. Later on, with another client from Napoleon Hill, he was a little skeptical too about manifesting stuff through your life, through your thoughts. And he said, I give you 2 days to see a blue butterfly. We are not even in spring in that time, you remember? And I was like, how I'm gonna see the blue butterfly? It's not even spring. So my thought was like, okay, I'm gonna see in a magazine, I'm gonna see in TV,
Somewhere.
but the TV not even gonna be possible because I don't watch too much TV. But so I was, oh, I know what it was. It was our broadcast when you introduced me to
Oh yeah,
the
yeah. To
Happiness
the
Matter,
group.
to the
Mhm.
group. And of course, before we go live, we always chat a little about whatever, or we laugh, or always try to put our energy and our vibration a little high. And she's like showing me her office, and suddenly she's like, I'm like, do you have a wait back, go back, go back.
You were so excited. I was like, what happened? You know?
Like, well, I work in New York, first of all, right? I go in the bus. Even if I live in the mountains, I don't spend too much time in here. I come to sleep in here, wake up, and go to the city again. So in the city, you don't see butterflies. I'm sorry. You
Right.
can see one here and there, but is the monarch
Maybe in
butterfly?
Central Park.
Maybe, but I don't gonna go walk to Central Park, to be honest with you. I'm sorry. I'm working, and
That's
I work
okay.
already a lot to go from one place to another. I knew that it would not be completely possible to see a real one, but I was not expecting that would be with Sabine.
But here's the thing, okay? It comes unexpected. That's the beauty of it. But it's like when you're open, when you're focused, and I always use the yeah, because our brain has a little cell cluster, and it's called the reticular activating system. Okay, and it gets activated. So whatever you focus on, all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is what we need to pay attention to. And I always use that thing. It's like, when you wanted a new car and you dream about your car and the color, the model, and you pick a color because nobody has it. It's not around.
And suddenly
As
you
soon
suddenly
as
see
you
that.
drive that sucker off the lot, everybody and their mama has that car in that color. Have you noticed that? That's a reticular activating system because now your focus is on that and you put your emotions and your feelings. That's the key.
It's
You
like
put everything in that and it's like, oh my gosh, it's so cool. I now have it. And now everybody else does.
this is so, like you usually say, is stupid. Oh my
Stupid
God, it's so
simple.
simple. And what people doesn't understand, actually it is. If you could combine your thoughts with your emotions, the law of
Oh.
attraction, the law of attraction will solve for yourself.
Hmm.
You just need to have these two things together as a formula. It is you think, you believe, you have emotions on it. The
Hmm.
law of attraction will bring it. It will solve somehow. It will resolve the problem. The project. I'm sorry. It will bring into your 3D reality.
Well,
Oh,
and here's the thing on that. Okay. It's not just the good stuff. If you focus on the good stuff, you believe the good stuff, and you have all the emotions. Here's the thing: the law of attraction is already working for you,
no matter what.
no matter what. It's like pay attention to what are your thoughts and what are your emotions. If you're like, oh man, life is gloom and doom. Okay,
That
this
is
is
what
the
you're
order
gonna
you're
get.
sending out. That is the order you're sending out, and by law,
Is what you get.
that's what you get, and that's what you get more of. So if what you have right now, what your reality that you're experiencing right now is not what you want,
You still can
stop
change.
giving it energy. Stop giving it energy.
Stop giving
Focus
emotion.
on right. Stop putting that's like, oh man, it's like saying it's like, man, I want to be a millionaire, but it's never gonna happen. Well, guess what? It's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's never gonna happen if you do it that way. But if you're like, oh man, I can see myself, and it's like money is coming in from multiple sources and increasing quantities. This is so good. I can do so much good with it. Da 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 da. Stay in that. Don't worry about that other stuff because what you put after the but is the order you're sending out. That's the emotion you give it. That's the feeling you give it. Don't do that. Stop in the good and visualize it. Feel it so many times as much as you can. Because here's the thing, and I remember one time I told my husband, I said, hey, if time or money were not an issue, where would you want to go on vacation? And this is my husband. I mean, not anymore because he's married to me and but his first thing was it's like, well, let's get the money first and then we dream. That's backwards, guys. That is so backwards. And I tell him, I said, just imagine the money to go with it. Okay. Don't
That
worry
was,
about the
but
who's
that
the
was
house, who
me.
loves and wins.
That was me. I do remember, like, um, I don't dream if I don't have the money. I don't dream if I don't have the
Backwards.
relationship.
Mhm.
I don't dream if I don't have the healthy. I don't dream if, but it's the word if, it was always there. So now I don't have the if. It's like, I will do it. Is here. Is already here. I want to go. I will go.
You are going.
I'm going no matter what. I'm there already.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
guess what? I did. During COVID time, I was tired to be locked down. So tired. And one of the things that I said, I'm like, I don't care how much I'm going to expend. I don't care if I have the money or not. Soon the lockdown open, I'm going to travel. And guess what happened?
You did.
I never traveled so much in my life as like during COVID time. Just in like 6 months, I went Aruba, St. Lucia, California for 2 weeks, Florida, Arizona, you name it. It was like, oh, this is open. They open. Oh my God, let's book.
Right. And you didn't worry about the who's, the house, the what's, and when's.
No, the
It
only
was
thing
your burning desire to go travel, and you did.
I was so tired to be locked down in the house for 3 months. I was like,
Mhm.
I need to get out. I need to get out. I'm getting crazy to be locked in the house. Like, no
Right.
way. No way. And kids were homeschooling because schools were closed. Like, do you want better than that time to travel with your kids? Take the computer. Well, one of the suitcase was computers, books, and all that stuff. We went there. They did what they was supposed to do, and soon school is over. Guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna have fun.
Nice. I love that. Yeah, and I mean it really is. It's because you it is already done. It's like Neville Goddard says it. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Because everything we want already exists. It's already there. It's already yours. You just have to believe that it is. But a lot of times what happens is like we live in this gloom and doom kind of reality that we created for ourselves, and we attract more of that. It's a law of attraction. We attract more of the stuff that we don't want because that's what we put our focus on. But once we shift that, everything changes. Everything changes. It is so good. It's so amazing. And it's like, I want this for the whole world to experience. I want this for everybody to experience because it is so incredible.
It
Is
is.
it easy? No,
No,
by no
because
means. It's not easy, but it's stupid simple, guys. It is stupid simple.
it's not easy because well, it will be easier for my kids, I hope, because I'm trying to
Because of
teach
the
them.
programming.
Because I'm trying to teach them this, right? And they don't have
You're
the
not
old
trying,
belief.
you're doing it. There's no try.
And they don't have the old beliefs that I do have. That I'm still struggling with some of my paradigms, and I'm working like one by one. Okay, like buck list,
Yeah, but
cross,
see, now we
cross.
have this. Phew.
So cross, 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 cross. But that is the problem. The society, I don't want to say raise us, but put it a pressure on us, and we learn how to be so negative, like always because the government doesn't is not printing money, always because we're gonna have some kind of crisis, economic crisis coming, or is because life is not easy because our parents always teach us like life is not easy, sweetie. Grow up. My parents used to say to me, life is not the stories that you read in your books.
No, I mean, I heard all of that too.
and and guess what? That it was my belief. I believe on that for 40 years, 41 years of my life until I get really down because like who am I on this world that I don't fit in? Needs to be more than this. I want more than this. I'm lost.
Hmm.
If this is life, I don't want it.
No, I hear you. And my thing was too, it's like, how come there are some that come from nothing and come from, a similar situation as myself, and they're like successful, they're bazillionaires, What do they know that I don't know? That
Right.
was my thing. It's like, how can that be? Well, now I know if it's possible for one, it's possible for all, you know. And I always is like, I want to know what they know, and that's what started me on my really digging deep into personal development, you know. And that's what introduced me to Napoleon Hill or Nightingale, you know, um, Ochmandino and Neville Goddard, and I mean, you name them, all of them,
Yeah,
right? And
doesn't
I was
matter.
like,
The
and
principle
here's the common theme through it all. What we think, I mean,
is,
I really simplify what you think about, you bring about.
it is
It's
true.
stupid simple.
It is true. And everything that the bad experience that we have through our lives, because all of us have, it is because we thought about it.
Hmm.
Because when we have like a, a problem, a project, whatever you want to call in your life, and you try to see the outcome of that,
We focus everything on it.
the first thing that comes to your mind is the negative outcome, never the positive outcome. Even me sometimes struggle on that. Can I get it faster? Absolutely. And I have to cancel, reject, rephrase. But it is because it's what the society make us believe, like through movies, through news. Do you saw the news? I don't anymore. But it's all like that one killed that one. We have a tsunami
Because
there.
here's the thing, the negativity sells, negative news sells. And here's the other thing too, guys. When people are in fear, their rational thinking goes out the window. So fear controls. Think about that. Whoever is instilling the fear has an ulterior motive. They want to control. Just putting that out there. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. That's just the way it is. It's a fact.
And we have a part of, because of course, my kid read the second chapter of his book, There Was Challenge, right? So I actually learned something that I didn't know. We have 5 parts of our brain that I knew, but each part has their own function, right? So you have one part of your brain that is only there, and it is known as your fixed mindset. Amazing, right? That is what tells you that you cannot do that challenge because it's going to hurt you, it's going to do something. So he wants to keep you safe. So he keeps send you fears to your subconscious mind for you to don't do that. And it's more powerful because we train and exercise that part of our brain more than the other one, because we have the pre-something cortex part of the brain.
Prefrontal cortex.
Yeah, that is exactly the opposite. It is your grown mindset that always puts you challenge for you to grow and help you to conquer that challenge, you know. But because we don't exercise that part of our brain so often, the other part controls that part. See, I
Yeah.
didn't know that we have like just one part of our brain just for that part. I
Mhm.
knew that we have different parts of our brain, but one just to control our fear is
Mhm.
amazing.
I mean, the human body is fascinating. And again, this is why I love this, the psyche, because it really helps you balance all those parts.
When I read that, I still didn't. I received this book, but I still didn't open, and I still didn't do the exercise with Sabine. And of course, my kid had the challenge, so I need to read his chapter 2 to know what he was talking about. It would be accurate with what the book
So
says,
now you
right?
have the scientific part with the psyche part, and it's like, what?
No, my thought immediately like, oh, I need to call the doctor. I need to make brain surgery because that part of my brain needs to come out.
Lobotomy, poop, let it cut
Okay,
it out.
if the only thing it does on my brain is control the fear, okay, let's like and send me fear. Let's take that out. But
Yeah, it. I mean, to me, it's because I'm okay, guys. Here's the thing. I say I'm right brain, but I'm also left brain. very much so. It's just like I'm
Not
embracing my
about
right more because I have been neglecting that part of my brain for so long. I mean, I'm still very much left brain. I need to have. I'm the kind of person. I love science. I love science. Explain it to me. Don't just tell me something. I want to know. Show me the proof. I'm that person too, right? Show me the proof. If it, so, people that know me and that if they want something from me, they know just like, hey, blah blah blah, and here's why. Don't just tell me. Tell me why. Why is
no.
it important?
Right now, I'm getting a little better, and actually, I think the colors help
You
me.
are amazing. Look at your color and everything. I'm so
I
proud of
think the
you.
colors. I think the colors this week actually helped me to be a little more creative and use a little more of my right side. Um, but yes, like I'm left side brain, and I need to have the proof of everything.
No, you're both sides brain. It's just you're used to using the
Use
left side
more
more
my
than the
left
right.
side, but right now, I go more with my intuition. So when I was talking with you even this week about the psyche, my first thing was like not even think about it, not even try to find the science behind this. But Sabine, but I'm gonna tell something. Sabine say it is proof scientific.
It is, and that was important to me. Bruce Lipton, he's a geneticist. I mean, he's like deep down into the cell biology and everything. He loves this stuff.
So
Just
she said, but immediately I was like, oh, I want that book. And I went immediately while I was on the phone with her on Amazon, and I said, "Oh, it's the one that it looks like have pieces, puzzle pieces on the cover." So even working on my self development every single day, because I do work every single day on myself,
mhm.
I noticed the difference. I let my intuition come a little faster than I used to, because before my intuition, it was funny because I even talked with Cleone yesterday about my intuition, and she said, you have great intuition because everything that you say that it will happen, or when you say, I don't know if I trust that, usually it happens, Sonny, and sooner or later they prove that it will happen. We don't know how, but it does.
You don't have to know how. It just
And
does.
I don't know. And it's not my business. The how is not my business. And it was funny because I said, but Cleona, I'm so left brain. And she looked at me and said, no, Sonia, I think you are both brains, but you are afraid to unleash your right brain. Because
Ooh, we
you,
can balance for that.
but it's true. And because my intuition is amazing. I remember one time I was in having a family dinner and they were talking about something and I was not paying attention, but the last words came to my mind and I looked to the person and said, if I was you, I would not do that because this and this and this is going to happen. And I remember people were looking at me like I have seven heads and they were like, how do you know? And I'm like, I don't, I just know. I don't know how I know, I just know. And in that time, my husband stepped up and said, I don't know either, but listen to her. Because every time that I told her that I'm going to do something, and she said, don't do it because this is going to happen, um, I want to prove her wrong. So I did the opposite. And guess what?
Oh,
She knew it. And one of the things that I notice is if I shut up my intuition, it comes in my dreams. Always comes in my dreams. Over and over and over and over
because
again.
our intuition is powerful.
And
It's our subconscious telling us what we
until
need to hear.
it's like it's amazing how it works, but my it comes in my dreams until I like, okay, enough, I hear you. Enough, I hear you. I gonna take care of
Shut
that.
up!
It's like, okay, enough. Let me sleep. I hear you, but now stop and let me sleep, and I will take care of that. It is amazing. It is amazing how both of the brains working together. I'm still afraid of unleash my right brain.
We'll
A-
work on that.
and I just realized because yesterday was exactly what Cleona said. Like, you have a great intuition, Sonia. Your intuition is always like right there. When you say it, it is like right there. And suddenly she said these words that resonate with me all the way coming home. And I will know that I was talking with you on the phone and I didn't told you, but it made me think all night long, like, yeah, she's right. I'm afraid of turn to my right side because of my intuition. Because my intuition never failed me. Never.
Hmm. There you go.
It's scary, right?
No, it's only scary if you let it to be scary.
Well, and I did exercise to find out where that fear came.
Oh yeah.
And I find out.
You want
And
to share?
this fear came since I was a little girl. I would be like, little girl, no, I was a teen. Should be like 13, 14 years old. And my grandmother passed away. And
Oh, I remember you telling me that. Yes.
and when the phone rang and that night, my mom said, pick up the phone. And I said, no, I don't. But I start crying immediately. I knew that something was wrong. And I heard my mom say, don't tell me that. And immediately I knew that my grandmother passed away.
Oh wow.
Immediately. Immediately.
Mhm.
It's like, I knew it. And so I block and I continue to block and block. And because my intuition, my intuition start coming when I was a teenager, right? And always came with associate to death. Always. I always knew when someone in the family would pass because, oh, I dream about it, something that I just knew that I didn't know who it would be, but I knew someone would be. And
Mhm.
like in a couple weeks, that a person in my family passed. So I always knew because of my dreams and because I should always shut up my intuition. And here we go. It comes in my dreams. And so from that time, I think I learned to block that part of my intuition, if make
Mhm.
any sense.
No, it makes total sense to me.
And like, and sometimes I do mistakes because I'm human. I do mistakes,
What?
and I know
You just bust a bubble there.
again, and I know all the cells of my body says before I even go through this, is all the cells of my body says this is a huge, big mistake that you are doing. And even like that, I go for my like, shut up, right? You don't know what you're talking about. Left, let's go. I don't like you anymore. We break up. And I go for my left. And sooner or later, I know that it was a mistake.
Mm.
But I knew I just had the confirmation that it was a mistake. You know what I
And
mean?
the thing is, we all have that intuition. We all have that power. It's just we're so conditioned to poo poo on it and ignore it and just shove it away and bring in the rational, the false beliefs, the garbage that people were telling us. And we listen to stuff from people, they're not even experts in the field. But because we trust them, we take their word for gospel.
And I think
That's a
another
problem.
and I think another thing is like you are afraid what other people's going to think about you because you have that kind of intuition, if make any sense.
Well, because people are afraid of what they don't understand.
So for example, like,
So,
okay, I felt that my grandmother died. I knew by that ring of that phone, I knew immediately what it was, right?
Mhm.
And me express that to other people, it was like out of the world. It was like, oh my God, what people's gonna think about me? That I'm a witch? A beautiful,
You're amazing. You're
amazing
powerful.
witch, you know? So, and that time is exactly what you think, like, oh my God, people are gonna think that I'm completely crazy, cuckoo crazy. How this is possible? They're gonna think what? That I do kind of black magic or something
Well,
like
I mean,
that.
and also, I mean, for the longest time, people with special gifts, they were prosecuted as witches and warlocks. You know, they were drowned, they were killed, they were burned, there and all of those things. So
And
that is
and
very much ingrained in us.
still
So
today
when we have
today,
those kind of powers, I mean, yeah, the first thing is fear. It's like, oh my gosh, because this happened in the past. Are people ready to embrace this? Most people are not because they can't explain it and they're afraid of it. Again, people are afraid of what they can't explain and they try to control what they can't explain, what they're afraid of. Think about that. Instead of stepping back and it's like, hey, let me learn about this. Let's have a conversation.
but this is only about and even with my mom on the other day, we were talking and we were talking about an experience that I had with a friend of mine that I was not even in here. And I swear that I was there with her and I know what she was wearing and I know what the car she was driving and I know where the car was parked and I know like she had the rental car because her car broke down or something like that. She had the rental car. I know the brand of the car, I know the color of the car and all that stuff. And suddenly we talk about it and I just arrived from Portugal and we are going try to go to have dinner together. And she said, oh, my rental car arrived. And I'm like, what do you mean? When I saw your car, she said, Sonny, you were in Portugal. It's impossible. I'm like, tell me, your car is not this one, this color is not parking right there. And she said, yeah. And I'm like, the plates are not from this state. And she said, yeah. And I'm like, Kathleen, oops.
Okay.
You doing a mistake. You received the car before I went to Portugal because I went to say goodbye with you and I was there with you and close to the car. I even remember that you showed me the car and you were so upset because the car it was electrical, but it was not like your car and the plugs were not working and you were so upset. And she was like, Sonia, I only received the car 2 days ago. You were not here. You were in Portugal. And yes, all that happened. Yes, I had a problem with the plug. And yes, the car is dead. And yes, the plates are this.
You have a special gift, my friend. Embrace it.
And I was talking like that to my mom. And my mom immediately like, don't talk anymore. What do you want people gonna think about you? And I'm like, I don't know.
People think what they want to think anyway.
I don't
You know.
know. But like immediately, even my mom that knows about that phone call that she received because she was present and I start crying. She knows about dreams of other people pass away. She is the first one to say, zip it. Just zip it. So yeah,
That's
that's
it's that fear and so much of the fear. I mean, unless and I always love that. Unless you have a saber-toothed tiger chasing you, back from back when, or I mean, unless your life is physically in danger, the fear is irrational. It's an imagined fear because we buy into all the junk that we're being told.
we
And
are
we
not
believe that as gospel. It's like, if you can believe that, why can't you believe this?
exactly. It's like we are not in the
Same
17th
thing.
century anymore, right? We don't
Right,
gonna have anyone persecute me.
right.
Well, I hope
Oh,
not.
I'll
And
be
if it is
excited
the government,
to release all those fears with you. This is
I
so
know. Oh, and my hands
fun.
and I wish that you could feel my hands. They still cold.
That's funny. Mine are cold too, but
But you are always cold. Except on the other day
Well,
that you were hot.
yesterday I was surprised how hot I actually was, and it was cool. But anyway, Hey
But
guys,
that
this
was
is it
because you did
already.
the exercise too.
I know. I'm telling you this, and I'm excited because next month I'm taking the in-person classes, the basic and the advanced.
I'm so happy.
I'm so excited. So anyway, this is it again. It's been an hour already. Can you believe it?
No, when we have fun, time flies.
Time flies when you're having fun. So hey guys, we'll be back next week. Stay tuned. And hey, just for fun, think about something. I like to use blue glass because I love blue glass. So I know blue glass. Blue glass is amazing. You should look up the really cool stuff with blue glass. But anyway, so
I
just
will
imagine seeing blue glass. You know, we would love to hear in the comments where all did it show up for you? How often did it show up for you? Blue glass is amazing. Just
Why
blue
not?
glass because it's so uncommon also. You know, blue glass. Just think blue glass or blue butterflies.
Do I have another challenge now? I need to find blue glass.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's do blue glass. Because I mean, of course, it's not fair for me because I have blue glass all around me.
I don't.
You know, so or manifest a parking space. Work on parking spaces, green lights. You know, whatever it is that you
Oh,
did.
no. If you
set
want
your
to
mind
make,
to.
if you want to
But
make
blue
this,
glass is fun.
if you want to make this fun, it should be the same challenge for everyone.
Okay, blue glass it is.
And see how many people would put it like the pictures on the comments, like I have it.
Yeah, blue glass. Blue glass, guys. Blue
Blue
glass.
Okay, I
And
will.
It
I will
it
accept
can
the
be
challenge.
actual blue glass. It can be a picture of it. You know, you can read the words blue glass. I mean, whatever blue glass.
You can have a billboard that is blue and say glass.
Yep, that works too. Blue glass.
It's blue glass.
In
It will
any
show up in
combination,
different
blue
ways.
glass. It's so much fun. Okay, guys. Thank you. Sonia, I love you so much.
I
This
love
is
you so
awesome.
much, love.
And we will be back next week.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.